I am speaking with Fred Nichols, Chief Sales and Marketing Officer at Huma, and we are going to talk about a new product that was just introduced from Huma and that they're very excited about. But first of all, Fred, what I'd like you to do is tell us about Huma, the company, and what you do, and just a little bit about yourself.
Yeah, so at Huma, we're the world leader in humates. So a lot of folks think of humates as, humic acid, and certainly that's a part of it. We have two mines that we own and operate. All of our products are made here in the USA, but we've got a mine in New Mexico where we harvest our humic acid dry humates that farmers spread on their fields. And then we also have a mine in Idaho. And from that humic substance, we then extract that into a liquid foundation called our microcarbon technology. As the name implies, it's a carbon-rich material, and it's really our delivery system for our full line of soil fertility and crop nutrition, as well as crop protection products.
All right, great. Well, your new product is Proud 4, just introduced it here earlier this month. So tell us about that.
Yeah, so the four indicates 4-in-1 pest protection. So we're real excited that this is really an incredibly versatile product. So it's a 4-in-1 nematicide, miticide, fungicide, and insecticide. And it works above ground as well as below ground. So if you've got soil-borne pathogens or if you've got nematodes, it's an excellent product to apply to the soil or through irrigation, and it will control those incredibly well. And then also has great control of above ground pests, so soft-bodied insects, thrips, etc., mites, obviously, and then of course a variety of various fungal diseases. What's nice is the versatility allows you to treat above and below ground, but it's also on a wide variety of crops. So farmers in central Illinois, right, can utilize it to right now to spray on their soybeans as a great fungicide. Those in California, can apply it to strawberries or potatoes, certainly, right? And the nice thing about it is it's an OMRI certified or OMRI listed product. So, we've got those benefits, but also it can be applied anytime during the season. So when we get in these situations in the West where we're talking potatoes, strawberries, some of these higher value specialty crops, a lot of it's popular to do fumigation in those areas. Well, fumigation, you can only do it before the season or after the season. With Proud 4, you can do it throughout the season, in season, as well as pre and post season. So a lot of advantages there.
This seems like a very unique product. Is there any product out there that compares to this?
We're unaware of anything that's exactly like this. So Proud 3 is actually the next generation. I'm sorry, Proud 4 is actually the next generation of a product we call Proud 3. And it worked on the above ground pest, and it was pretty popular in a lot of areas, especially in the West. It's a big seller for us worldwide, but now we've reformulated it, and it gives you the advantages you've always had before, but now with that below ground. In fact, we put it neck and neck with other products out there and some independent trials, and we're seeing just phenomenal control. You can certainly vary the rates best based on the pest control, the spectrum that you've got, the infusion of pests that you have. So you can, certainly go out at a smaller rate, or you can boost the rate depending on what you need. So it gives you flexibility there too, from a cost advantage standpoint.
Well, I noticed in the press release you talking about microcarbon technology, and you call it the secret sauce. Tell us about what this secret sauce is.
Yeah, it definitely is our secret sauce. It's really what differentiates Huma and makes us very unique. So I know a lot of times, farmers are some farmers are familiar with, the humic acids, the humates that are applied to the soil, right? And then you've got fulvic acids, which, will go on the leaves. And now we've got, we think, a better mousetrap in that it microcarbon technology, very active carbon molecules. So whereas the humic acid is thousands of carbon rings, fulvic acid is hundreds of carbon rings, we're less than 10 carbon rings in the makeup of our microcarbon technology. So it's extracted from humates, so it's all natural, but it's an incredibly effective carrier. In fact, when you apply it to the leaves, it will deliver whatever that nutrient is, whatever that crop protection product is, it'll deliver that within the leaves in less than 1 hour. And we haven't seen anything like that on the market as well. So it's really popular. If you want to deliver any type of crop nutrient, you can do that. You can certainly use it to deliver, fungicides, but also you can mix it with herbicides, and you can deliver them into the weeds within 1 hour. And of course, this ultra efficient delivery, you get what you want in the plant almost immediately. And also, it's great for rain fast, right? Because we know in the Midwest and parts of the South, certainly those pop-up showers, nothing frustrates a farmer more than spraying a crop in the morning and then having a wash off in the afternoon. We eliminate that with this technology.
Well, of course, right now, the farm economy is not the best. That's an understatement, of course. But what do you have to say to farmers about the cost effectiveness or the return on investment for Proud 4? Because it seems like a pretty cost effective product.
Yeah, that's the really nice thing about Proud 4. So if you are in a scenario where your potatoes or strawberries or some of these specialty crops, a lot of guys are turning to fumigation to do that. Those are very, very costly, and we are a mere fraction of that. And you can actually apply our product multiple times if you need to, and you're still going to be just a fraction, of that cost. So very competitive there. And then, when it comes to the above ground pests as well, we're right there, if not below what you're seeing with some of the standard fungicides out there. But the really nice thing about the versatility is if you're a farmer or if you're an ag retailer, you can stock and have one product that can do lots of things for you on lots of different crops. So, I've been calling this very much an eco-friendly product, but eco-friendly in the sense that clearly the environmental aspect of it, based on, OMRI listed, there's no reentry restrictions. So that makes it really nice. And then, just from a cost standpoint, yeah, we are very cost competitive. I also know that, some of these areas out in California where you have grapes, folks will be ready to harvest their grapes, and there'll be a fungus that'll pop up and it'll shut things down. Well, for us, you can go ahead and apply Proud 4, and they can come in and you can have workers working the same day because there's no worker reentry restrictions or anything like that. So that makes it very nice as well.
Excellent. Well, it sounds great. Fred, how can farmers and ag retailers find out more?
You can reach out to proud4.com. So if you go on www.proud4.com, that'll take you to a page where you can learn more information, see some trial data, and then be put in touch with a representative near you that can help you out.
All right, that could not be easier. Proud4.com. Thank you very much, Fred Nichols with Huma. I'm Cindy Zimmerman.